me are sweet as roses in the morning. You to me are soft as summer rain at dawn. In love we share, that's something rare. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die, because we'll see the mountains tumble.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ed Rambeau, and I'm more than happy to welcome you all to my little corner of the world, especially tonight, since this show celebrates my 60th year in the entertainment field. Hence, the theme for this evening is celebrating 6 decades in showbiz. My actual anniversary is a few days away on June 2nd of this year, because on June 2nd of 1961, on the day I graduated from Hazleton High School in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, my first record was released on the Swan record label. It wasn't a hit, but it got quite a bit of airplay and landed me a spot on Dick Clark's American Bandstand, which was thrilling for a kid like me fresh out of high school. My very first record was a novelty song written by the same 2 composers who wrote Poetry in Motion for Johnny Tillotson, namely Paul Kaufman and Mike Anthony. It was called Skin Divin', and it went something like this.
Ooh, what a pretty fish. 36, 24, swishity swish. A pretty little mermaid went a swimming by, a wiggling and a giggling and a wink in her eye. I swam to the shore, to the store right away, bought a skin diving outfit and jumped in the bay. Skin diving,
out with the tide,
skin diving,
right to her side.
I'll make my home in the balmy brine till I make that little mermaid mine. I found that little mermaid down by a shoal, a splishin' and a splashin' and a doin' the stroll. We did the twist and we kissed all the while, wore my skin diving outfit and she wore a smile. Skin diving,
Swishity swish,
skin diving,
chasing that fish.
I'll make my home in the balmy brine till I make that little mermaid mine.
Pop, pop, pa-doo, ooh, yeah. Pop, pop, pa-doo, ooh, yeah. Pop, pop, pa-doo, ooh, yeah. Pop, pop, pa-doo, ooh.
Our underwater wedding was quite the thing. Tuna, fish, and turtles all gathered to sing. I had a big clam bake and a cake for my girl, wore the shell of an oyster and she wore a pearl. Skin diving,
Look at him go,
skin diving,
stealing the show.
I'll make my home in the balmy brine, 'cause I've made that little mermaid mine. I'll make my home in the balmy brine, 'cause I've made that little mermaid mine. Ooh, what a pretty fish. 36, 24, swishity swish.
After Skin Divin', there were several subsequent releases which went nowhere, until along came a song written by the same man who wrote Palisades Park for Freddie Cannon. His name was Chuck Barris, and he became the reason for its downfall. Just when the record looked like it was going to take off and become a national hit, I was about to perform it on a local bandstand-type show in Chicago when I was called into the control room and told I'd have to perform the B-side of my record. When I asked why, I was told that because the song's composer, Chuck Barris, was currently an ABC executive, it would be a conflict of interest to allow me to perform his song on an ABC broadcast. Subsequently, the song was pulled from all ABC radio and TV stations nationwide. I later learned that Dick Clark almost lost his job fighting to be able to play the song on his American Bandstand show because he loved it so much. Years later, Chuck Barris produced a show called The Newlywed Game and ended up using the melody of my song as the show's theme song. Anyway, that being said, here's the song in question. It's called Summertime Guy, my almost first hit.
I'm just a summertime lover. I'm just a summertime guy. Well, I'm a real cold drizzle in January, but a sizzle in the month of July. Oh, don't you know now? I shine best when the sun's out. I like the temperature high. Well, I'm a cool operator when the heat is on, 'cause I'm just a summertime guy. I can't make a nickel singing jingle bells, and I'm nothing under mistletoe. No, but I'm a warm weather wonder on a sandy beach like the girls in bikinis all know. Well, let me tell ya, I'm just a summertime lover. Yeah, I'm just a summertime guy. When it snows, I keep praying that it won't be long until the red, red robin starts singing his song. And when he does, I'll move right out and give love a try. Oh yeah, I'm just a summertime guy. Well, don't you know now I can't make a nickel singing jingle bells, and I'm nothing under mistletoe. I know, but I'm a warm weather wonder on a sandy beach like the girls in bikinis all over. Let me tell ya, I'm just a summertime lover. Yeah, I'm just a summertime guy. When it snows, I keep praying that it won't be long until the red, red robin starts singing his song. And when he does, I'll move right out and give love a try. Oh yeah, I'm just a summertime guy. I'm just a summertime guy who digs a summertime gal, who needs a summertime.
Written by Chuck Barris of The Gong Show fame, that was Summertime Guy. And here's an interesting anecdote. Many years later, a film entitled Confessions of a Dangerous Mind revealed that Chuck Barris, producer of The Dating Game, The Newlywed Game, and host of The Gong Show, had a background that the public and industry bigwigs were completely unaware of. It seems that Mr. Barris, game show pioneer, was also a covert assassin who worked for the CIA and claimed to have killed 33 people. After hearing that, although I recorded his song, I'm glad I never got to meet the guy. Anyway, before I had my own personal hit, I had a major hit as a songwriter, which I wrote with Bud Rehak and the legendary Bob Crew. It was recorded by Diane Renee and went on to become top 10 nationwide in the early part of 1964. It was called Navy Blue, and here's that hit recording.
Blue, navy blue, I'm as blue as I can be. 'Cause my steady boy said shit boy and joined the Navy. Shut up. He said he wanted to settle down and let me be his girl. But first he had to do a little traveling around to see the whole wide
After having written many songs, Navy Blue became my first major success in the music industry. 1 year later, following my hit as a songwriter, Bob Crewe returned from London with a demo of a song and was quite adamant about having me record it. Strangely enough, even though I wasn't that crazy about the song, I eventually gave in to Bob, and it ended up being my one and only biggest hit. By now, I'm sure you all know that I'm referring to the composition that put me on the map as a singer, and here it is, Concrete and Clay.
You to me are sweet as roses in the morning. You to me are soft as summer rain at dawn. In love we share, that's something rare. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die, because we'll see the mountains tumble before we say goodbye. My love and I will be in love eternally, and that's the way it's meant to be. All around I see the purple shades of evening, and on the ground the shadows fall, and once again you're in my arms so tenderly. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die, because we'll see the mountains tumble before we say goodbye. My love and I will be in love eternally, and that's the way it's meant to be. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die, because we'll see the mountains tumble before we say goodbye. My love and I will be in love eternally, and that's the way it's meant to be. Oh, that's the way it's meant to be. That's the way it's meant to be. That's the way it's meant to be.
Although most people think it was Bob Crewe that produced my hit single Concrete and Clay, it wasn't. It was Charlie Colello, who was Bob Crewe's main arranger and arranged most of the major hit singles recorded by the Four Seasons. Therefore, once it was clear that Concrete and Clay was a bona fide hit, Charlie and I immediately got to work on putting together the Concrete and Clay album. I distinctly remember Bob Crewe calling me into his office one day with what he thought was a great idea. He hit me with the title of a song he thought would be a perfect follow-up to Concrete and Clay. When I heard the title come out of Bob's mouth, which was My Name is Mud, my first impulse was to laugh, but you don't laugh at Bob Crewe. So I swallowed my impulse and sat down and wrote the lyrics with him. When the album was finished, there was one song I really thought should have been the follow-up to Concrete and Clay. Not just because I wrote it along with Bud Rehack, but because I felt it had a much stronger chance of being a hit song than My Name is Mud. And that's the song I'd like to play for you right now. It's called I Just Need Your Love.
When the cares of the day just won't go away, and I'm feeling blue, I just need your love to carry me through. When the dreams I had planned are tumbling and there's nothing to do, I just need your love to carry me through. Oh, 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 I love you so much, oh yeah. And I know that I could never let you go, never, oh no, because the way I'm feeling today, if you'd ever stray, don't know what I'd do. I just need your love to carry me through. just need your love. I just need your love. I just need your love to carry me through.
That was I Just Need Your Love, the song I felt would have been a much better choice as a follow-up to Concrete and Clay. But crying over spilled milk never got anybody anywhere. So let's move on to some of the artists I've had the pleasure of having record my catalog of songs. In addition to Diane Renee of Navy Blue fame, here's a medley of artists who have recorded my material, beginning with my second biggest hit, which actually hit the charts several years before Navy Blue. It was Mark Valentino doing my composition entitled The Push and Kick.
Well, it's the toughest dance, the push and kick. It's never up to dance, the push and kick. It's got 'em in a trance, the push and kick. Move, 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 move. The mashed potato stove ain't the push and kick. Oh, mama, 2-0 ain't the push and kick. You gotta lose control to the push and kick.
Shortly thereafter, The Push and Kick was covered by the mashed potato lady herself, Miss Dee Dee Sharp.
Well, it's the toughest dance, the push and kick. It's never up to dance, the push and kick. It's got 'em in a trance, the push and kick. Move, 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 move. The mashed potato stroke in the push and kick. The 1-1-2-0 in the push and kick. You gotta lose control, the push and kick. Move, 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 move.
In 1964, I wrote a song called Big Town Boy, recorded by Canadian artist Shirley Matthews, which became a top 10 hit in Canada.
Someday you're gonna be a big town boy. I just know it's true. I'll be proud of you. You'll be a big man. Someday you're gonna hold your head up high when you walk the street. Everyone you meet call you a big man. Oh, you'll be a big tycoon. Make a lot of money real soon. Make a lot of money, just you wait. You'll turn that great New York town upside down.
In 1967, I coupled up with Gary Knight, another Bob Cruz staff songwriter, and our song Shadows on a Foggy Day was born, soon recorded by Frank Sinatra Jr.
Shadows on a foggy day, they ain't so hard to find if you take the time to search your mind. Sail on a trip, I'm the captain, and on my ship there's shadows on a foggy day. I see 'em all the time.
See 'em all the time.
Sun don't have to shine,
Sun don't have to shine.
they're just there clouding up my mind.
In 1968, in Cannes, France, I met a group called Los Bravos, and they played a melody for me, asking if I could write a set of lyrics to it. I did just that and called it Make It Last.
Look at me, I'm riding high. From now on, I'll be the guy I wanna be. Every noisy sound I hear, like the buses changing gear, sound good to me. I do believe it's love. I do believe it's love. Crazy is an only sound. When I walk down the street, I find my feet don't touch the ground. And everything looks pretty in the same old dirty town. Make it last. Make it last.
The year was 2001 when Bud Rehak and I presented a song to Bob Crew to be included in the Four Seasons album. It ended up in the album entitled Dawn Go Away, and our song was called Seems Like Only Yesterday.
Like only yesterday she held me. Seems like only yesterday we
That, of course, was only a few of the many songs I've written for other artists, but oh, the memories. I often wish I could return to those days, but then, don't we all? For those of you who may have just tuned in, you're listening to Ed Rambeau, and this is My Little Corner of the World on MemoryLaneOldies.com. Tonight's theme, celebrating 6 decades in showbiz. But before moving on, there's a little guy waiting in the wings who you all know and love. It's none other than our good friend, Talking Tom. What's new, Pussycat?
Hi, everybody, and I'm sorry, Eduardo, if I look a little tired tonight, but last night, Angelina and I removed all the bad food from our house.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was delicious.
Oh, Tom.
Hey, I got one for you. What do you call someone who puts their right arm in a dinosaur's mouth?
I don't know, Tom. What do you call someone who puts their right arm in a dinosaur's mouth?
A lefty.
Oh, jeez.
And you know, speaking of this virus,
What? Wait a minute. Who the hell was speaking of this virus?
personally, I never want the damn thing to go away.
Tom, why on earth would you say such a thing?
Because if it goes away, we'll all have to find a whole new excuse to not want to see people.
Tom, really?
But you know, in all seriousness, I want to take this moment to sincerely congratulate you on making it through 60 years in showbiz.
Well, that's very nice of you, Tom. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now I just wish I could say the same for all of us who had to suffer through them.
You couldn't leave it alone, right? You had to go and spoil it.
If you don't know me by now.
Oh, don't you worry. I've got your number.
Speaking of numbers, don't you have a birthday coming up next month?
Matter of fact, Tom, I do. And I'm really getting up there. What do you think, old boy? You think I'm going to make it to 90?
Well, do you smoke or drink?
No.
How about steaks? Do you eat ribeye or barbecued ribs?
No, I think red meat is very unhealthy.
Do you spend a lot of time in the sun, like going sailing, hiking, or bicycling?
No, I don't.
Do you gamble, drive fast cars, or have a lot of sex?
Nope, don't do any of those things.
Then I don't get it. Why the hell do you want to live to see 90?
Say goodnight, Tom.
I had a feeling that was going to be my exit line.
Just say goodnight.
Good night, everyone. And all kidding aside, Eduardo, mucho congratulations on being able to celebrate 60 years in the entertainment field. And I'm sure all your fans feel exactly the way I do. Within the music business, you've been a real asset.
And there it is. Again, you had to spoil it.
If you don't know me by now.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, everybody. But before I go, allow me to tell you something I'm sure each and every one of you already know. My catnip awaits.
And there you have it, my friends, America's favorite pussycat, Talking Tom. Returning now to tonight's theme, celebrating 6 decades in showbiz, in later years I personally felt my songwriting ability had improved, as demonstrated by the song I've written that I'm about to play for you right now, which remains one of my all-time personal favorites. I hope you like it as well. The title is, But Then I See Your Face.
Sometimes it seems I'm going nowhere. Lost in my dreams that never come true. But then I see your face and things get better and brighter, just like my love for you. Mm-hmm. I often say I won't make it through. Yes, I do. But then I see your face smiling before me, and my world gets a better and brighter, just like my love for you. Often I dream I'm in a river, caught in the stream with no one in view. But then I see your face and I awaken, where everything's a better and brighter, just like my love for you. Whoa. Sometimes I feel my life is over. My life is over. Sometimes I feel like ending it too. Yes, I do. But then I see your face smiling before me, and everything's a better and brighter, just like my love for you. Yes, when I see your face, the world gets brighter, bigger and a better and brighter, just like my love for you. For you.
Throughout my early recording career, Bob Crewe always seemed to pick material for me to record that made me sound more like a silly teeny bopper than the kind of singer I really preferred to be. I always wanted to be more like Bobby Darin because Darin represented the kind of performer that sang the type of songs that were more to my liking. That's why, in later years, I was happy I got to do the kind of material I would have preferred doing back in the day. Like this one, for example, entitled The Other Half of Me. Somewhere there has to be the other half of me. The other half of me. I've yet to meet one special someone whose heart has a similar leaning. And if she were right for me, each day and night for me would have meaning. The other half of me, that unknown quantity, that unseen destiny, could make me complete. Is there a chart for a heart or a graph? Will we meet on the street with a laugh? Will we know one another if I ever meet my other half? The other half of me. To close out tonight's show, I wrote a new song that I just recorded to demonstrate the transition from my very first recording, Skin Divin', which you heard at the opening of this show, to the modern day me. It represents the kind of music I would have liked to have been writing and recording during my early recording days, but the style of the times just didn't seem to allow it. Anyway, making its debut on the airwaves, here's my latest song, written and recorded by yours truly, and I call it When Today Becomes Tomorrow. Here we are in this broken world, sharing joy and never sorrow. But will you love me like you do today, when today becomes tomorrow? Is our love the kind that's here to stay, or the kind folks only borrow? Will you be here as you are today, when today becomes tomorrow? For my smile to appear when I wake up each morning, you just have to be here and not gone without warning. Just making it through all our ups and downs proved how much in love we are. Though there are never any guarantees, you'll still be here when today becomes tomorrow. When today becomes tomorrow. Well, my good friends, it certainly doesn't feel like 60 years, because my, how those years have flown. As the title of the song I wrote for the Four Seasons says, seems like only yesterday. Hoping I'm still around to celebrate my 70th year in the wonderful world of show business, as well as having each and every one of you here to do it with me, with nothing but love in my heart, this is Ed Rambeau, and from my little corner of the world to yours, here's thanking you for joining me, and may your evening be filled with nothing but joy. Now it's time to return to the man of the hour, your friend and mine, Mr. Ron Baker and Ron's Record Shop. Take it away, Ron, and good night with buckets of love, everyone.